I have seen some horrific automations and follow-ups that are so sterile, so logistical, so one-sided about the law firm. If you don't do this by this date, we will cancel your appointment. What the F?
Control freak, it's what my staff thinks. They may be right, because this treadmill of dread running through my head keeps me up at night. I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary, head down in the weeds. We're gonna tighten up this operation. We're gonna build a strong foundation. No more chaos and confusion. We'll build a team that brings solutions. I see what could be, and I can't wait. Law firm admin boot camp is the way. We're signing up today. Law firm admin boot camp is the way.
I've heard if you have a lot of chaos in your life, there's a great law firm admin boot camp that can probably help you out with that. Check it out.
So often I'll hear from law firms, they're so frustrated with their team. They won't follow this script. They're not following this script because this script sucks. I see so often, or maybe you have outsourced phone services or answering service, or what have you. They're horrible. They serve a purpose if you're getting 100 calls a day, if you need them for nights and weekends, but they should not be your primary intake team, client onboarding team. Some people call them sales team. I don't even like the term intake. In law firms right now, it's all the rage. Intake team, intake team. It sounds so incredibly clinical. So their goal is to get the prospective client to take the next bold move, brave move within your process, to enroll them. Stop calling them intake. I use the word intake because when I use it, people click on my ads, they pay attention to my podcast, my pocket coaching. Law firm owners are obsessed with this intake term or non-attorney salesperson term or what have you it might be. They are your client success coordinator right from the beginning. So you're furious that they won't follow the scripts, that they won't get them to, they're not getting their conversions, take the next right move. But you're calling it an intake meeting. You're calling it an intake position. So their job is, an intake person is just to collect data. Think about it. Way back when law firms call them initial consultations. That's not very sexy and exciting for the prospective client. They know they're going to be sold to. It's not speaking into their perspective. So if your team are not following your scripts, it's probably because they suck and they know they do. Or if you're not getting the conversions that you like to see, it's probably because your scripts suck and they know they do. But it also could be just even the naming conventions of their role. If they're just an intake team, that's it. Intake is collect data and information, not inspire and empower, not break down barriers. All the things that you really truly want them to do, which is develop a relationship with the client or the referral source, develop relationships, enroll people into your vision, enroll people into your process, which is what distinguishes you, even hopefully when you're the most expensive in town. So if you're an intake coordinator or a client service coordinator, or if you're simply looking to refine your onboarding process and maybe these roles and goals, you're in the right place. I really want to break down every step of the journey from the initial contact to signing on the dotted line. So the first point of contact in your firm, picture this. The phone rings and it's a potential client or a $1 million referral source on the line. This is your chance to make a killer first impression. Answering with a warm greeting and remembering to smile, yes, even when they can't see you. Introducing yourself, letting them know that they're in good hands. Asking powerful, open-ended questions to get the conversation flowing, and above all, active listening, because they are giving you such key words. Not do you own a home? No, they are telling you the story of their family that's answering the questions within your intake process. This is really their chance to share their story. And it's your job, team members on the front lines, to make them feel heard and understood. And once you've established that rapport, then it's time to schedule that all-important initial first meeting, workshop, whatever it might be. And this is definitely distinguishing you and disrupting the legal industry from the other 3 law firms that they called. Now, this isn't just any old meeting. It's an interaction. It's a chance to wow them with expertise, professionalism, empathy, and compassion, and some joy and fun. Remember, they called you. So slowing your voice down, taking your time, getting the details right. This is not just about paperwork and intaking. This is an onboarding process. When you have the energy and the mindset and the compassion, the empathy that you're onboarding a client, not intake. It's a detail that will make the difference in everything and moving forward. And then when it comes time for, once you're sending the personal information form and what have you, what they need to bring and all the expectations and what to expect during their first step in your process, a workshop, a webinar, vision meeting, doesn't matter what it is. We always want to make certain that we're carrying that energy and empathy versus very clinical. It'll make a world of difference. As their big day approaches, it's time to prepare like a pro once they get in there and walk your talk. So they're going to experience in your automation. So many people are like crazy about these automations right now. We need to go back to basics even before automations exist. Now we're going to still use automations, but they have to bring that tonality, that energy, that personality, that compassion that they got on the phone through the automations. So they might include a video in there. If you're buying canned email sequences and campaigns and things of that nature, the best investment you can make in your firm, you might have bought them from a marketing agency or the marketing department designed them or what have you. Bring client services, bring intake into that meeting and say, does this match what you are hearing on the phone from people? Is this emulating our personality, our tonality, our expectations, the way that you made them feel on the phone in the first place? I have seen some horrific automations and follow-ups that are so sterile, so logistical, so one-sided about the law firm. If you don't do this by this date, we will cancel your appointment. What the F? Like, no, you really have to bring sales and marketing together, client services and marketing together, and walk through that journey so every single piece is so pristine and personal. So in preparing for the big day for them to come in, we already anticipate questions and concerns that might come up. They're coming in with those. And it's not just about spotting legal jargon and spouting legal jargon. It's about making them feel comfortable and confident in your abilities. We already know somebody let you out of law school with a law degree. So clients already assume you know what you're doing. but it's a first impression to the firm, regardless if they were referred by a power partner or referral source. Your demeanor makes all the difference when onboarding a new client, and onboarding begins with that first call. We're assuming they're going to become a client. We are manifesting that they're become a client because we are really good at this stuff. Let's fast forward to that first face-to-face interaction itself. This is a chance to shine, so make it count. Start by building that rapport and putting them at ease, because your intake team could do a rock star job, but the attorney's killing it in the conference room, or non-attorney salesperson. They're going right into the legalese. They're going right into the assets. They're going what have you, but they're not willing to dive into the nitty-gritty of their situation and really going into their complex situation and concepts or what have you, because to them it's very complex. And we don't want to be afraid to really show off our expertise. After all, that's why they're here. You're the best is what you've told them on your videos, your marketing, what have you. And we're professional and they need you. So maybe it's after a workshop or initial attorney meeting. It's really time to lay out again the process and the next steps, allowing them to really understand the beginning, the middle, the end, and the why. And where things are going to bubble up for them, where they're going to want to cancel appointments, where they're going to want to reschedule, where they're going to want to put this off, what have you. When you outline the whole journey and where the roadblocks they are going to hit throughout this process. And really, because people want to be told what to do. We want to be very transparent about that. That's not sales. That's not pushing. Where there's going to be lingering doubts and questions that will come up, not might come up, and what to do about that. And assuring them that they're in good hands every step of the way. You're the expert. Your law firm's the expert, the receptionist, the attorney, all of us, a paralegal. So we want to say, let's talk about what's going to happen after this. The emotions that are going to come up, the questions that are going to come up, the buyer's remorse, the hesitancy, and really giving that chance to cement that relationship and keep the momentum going. Because when you share that with them, the time that they are going to say, oh, X, Y, and Z came up, I'm just going to reschedule that meeting. Right now, they're going to remember your voice. They're going to remember the stories. They're going to remember the feeling. And that's how you build lasting relationships. And that's what it's all about. Because you're sharing with them, you know the journey. You know the buyer's journey because you're the best, because you've seen 4,000, 10,000, 20,000 clients. So mastering the basics of client onboarding is what it's all about. From communication, preparation, above all, building that trust. And by following these simple steps, your team can ensure that every client feels valued and supported and confident and abilities before they sign on that dotted line. Because they will sign on that dotted line because they're really buying your process, which they don't use that terminology, but to them it feels like relationship. So whether you're just starting out or looking to refine your processes or your scripts or what have you, remember my recommendation: if you're hiring and growing and onboarding, get back to basics. Really get back to basics and treat this like a R&D project. When you're bringing new members on, maybe you're a new team member on the board. We really, truly want you to become a production cop and do an audit of the process. If the scripts suck, say it out loud. If they're not working and you feel that they're sterile or clinical or what have you, we want to hear that. Go through the whole buyer's journey right from the automation. If you are not including your intake team, your client service team, what have you, into your automations and into your marketing message, what happens from booking the call, bring them in there because their voice matters. We want to hear it. This is how you improve client service and you ensure long-term success and growth. Law firms, give me your team. No more excuses. Allow them to get this in their bones and their blood. Allow them to give it the personality and allow for them to have the courage to use their voice and share with you what's not working. Maybe in this script, maybe in the process leading up to that PNC coming in, or maybe post PNC coming in. Maybe it's within the automations. Maybe it's within your follow-up process, what have you. Continue being legal leaders leading legal leaders. If you do not have legal leaders leading you as a legal leader, reach out. Let's book a call and let's see what we can do to get back to basics while also enhancing, scaling, and growing.
Control freak, it's what my staff thinks. They may be right, because this treadmill of dread running through my head keeps me up at night. I'm so tired of micromanaging. How do I train, manage, and lead? I can't find time to be visionary, head down in the weeds. We're gonna tighten up this operation. We're gonna build a strong foundation. No more chaos and confusion. We'll build a team that brings solutions. I see what could be, and I can't wait. Law firm admin boot camp is the way. We're signing up today. Law firm admin boot camp is the way.
I've heard if you have a lot of chaos in your life, there's a great law firm admin boot camp that can probably help you out with that. Check it out.